Earlier this year, we were in Bermuda as English club side Saracens were doing their bit to help with the game's development. It was also an opportunity to witness the work being done by a local charity, Beyond Rugby.
Beyond Rugby started a few years ago. I dealt with Beyond Sport, which is an organization out of the UK, out of London. And I had seen something very similar in what Beyond Sport had done with sport using for change in different parts of the world. And I thought we could do the same thing here. And so that was the impetus for Beyond Rugby. The biggest challenge that Beyond Rugby has to overcome is there's a 50% black Bermudian male dropout rate in schools. The main thing we have to do is keep these kids in school. When you have that many kids that drop out of school, at that point, they become some type of ward of the state. Without a high school degree, these kids aren't qualified to do anything if they're ward jobs. So our biggest focus we have is to keep kids in school.
Layfield knows all too well the benefits of taking part in sport, having played American football in college before becoming a professional wrestler.
I don't believe that rugby builds character. I believe rugby exposes character. I believe rugby is a team sport, and we chose rugby specifically because of that. There are a lot of inherent values in rugby, but the values that come, character and integrity, come from people like Patrick Callow and all our volunteers that help be mentors to these kids. Rugby to me was the perfect sport. All you need is a ball and a pitch, and you can play 5-on-5 or 15-on-15. It allows our young men to get out a little violence in them, have some fun, run around, knock into each other, and then shake hands at the end, which to us is very important.
And the program is already having a dramatic effect on the youngsters involved.
We have 60 kids in our program. We should lose 30 according to stats to dropout rates. And so far we've lost none, which would be a statistical anomaly if you didn't factor in Beyond Rugby. So we are seeing a lot of success. We have kids that I believe we would have lost. We had a young man that did something silly and not malicious, and he got a traffic fine. He was going to go to jail for that. And if he had parents, that had been taken care of. We ended up taking care of the traffic fine, but that's what happens to these young men. Because they don't have somebody there to be able to support them, they fall into a lot of trouble, and it gets worse because of that.
One of the initial challenges was convincing students to engage with the scheme.
It was pretty hard at first because Cedar Bridge is mainly, its popular sports is cricket, soccer, and basketball. And introducing rugby to my school, it was a different approach. I had to do some convincing to get them to come out and play some rugby. It helped a number of students whereas they're getting higher grades because they're completing homework before they go home and play rugby. They're focusing more because rugby is basically the fundamentals. You know, you got to focus, you got to be responsible, leadership. It teaches all of that, and so therefore they're carrying it in school when they go back.
Beyond Rugby works in conjunction with the Family Centre organisation on the island to provide support on an academic as well as an emotional level.
In the middle school, you see a lot of anger issues, kids that don't really have the tools to calm down when they get really upset. So rugby is a physical sport, and these guys fresh started. They're not used to being able to take a hit. When they take a hit, they want to get up and fight. Or it's just they don't want to touch each other, they don't want to do all these things. But as the program goes on, you really get to see these kids take a hit and help each other back up. Just to be a role model to these guys is huge. You see their progress, you see them look up to you, and you know that all these guys need is just some attention and some just a role model, someone there to talk to listen to them, and you really get to see them grow. So it's awesome seeing kids grow. Yeah.